Look at that thing there, man. Honestly. That is one mother juicy Lucy. Welcome to Next Level Kitchen. Now, with the 2026 FIFA World Cup on Fox just around the corner, it's time to take your football or soccer watch parties to the next level. So guess what? Tonight, I'm challenging myself to combine two amazing countries competing in this year's event and putting them between a delicious bun. That's right, I'm making a World Cup-inspired delicious burger. I promise you, no yellow cards here. Let's get cooking. Now, when I think of America, first thing that comes to note is an amazing burger. South Korea influence across that burger. Honestly, it's going to be delicious. Watch carefully. First off, the sauce with some spice, some heat, some sour, and something that will complement the burger. Let's get that going first. A couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. And start melting that, right? We're going to get the sweetness in there. After that, a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. In she goes. Let that melt nicely. From there, a really nice tablespoon of fish sauce. That's going to give you that umami, but most importantly, a really nice sour flavor. After that, a tablespoon of soy sauce. And start building this out. As that sugar starts to dissolve, it starts to caramelize and it comes together beautifully. A little pinch of roasted sesame seed oil. And then from there, tablespoon of minced garlic in, and a tablespoon of minced ginger. In we go. Now that's going to make it really nice and fragrant. Now for one of the most exciting ingredients, gochujang. A nice large spoon in. Now, get yourself a little whisk, okay? Bring that to the boil and literally reduce that down and just let it get nice and thick and delicious. I like the sauce almost sort of rich and it sort of starts to coat the back of the spoon. Turn that gas down nice and low and just let it simmer there, nice and gently. Bring it up to the boil. The sugar's caramelized. It's all coming together nicely. Let that reduce down. Right, for the actual burger. This is a nice combination between brisket, short rib, chuck, and a bit of fat, okay? The secret here is not overworking it, okay? Salt, pepper in, okay? A nice generous seasoning. In we go. I don't put raw onion in. I don't put raw garlic in. It's just salt and pepper. Start mixing that nicely. Don't overwork the meat. I've ground it quite coarse, okay? Because I want some texture on this burger. We're gonna do 2 patties and then stuff it with mozzarella. I love the mozzarella because it cooks well, adds flavor and fat to the burger, okay? Got my little burger press. Just a little touch of oil onto the paper and literally take the burger almost like a tennis ball shape and then don't overwork it, okay? Think of nice centimeter thick patties. They go in, just a little touch of oil on top, sit that on there and then lightly press that down. That's the first one done. Again, off. Okay, take that out. And just lay that on a lightly seasoned plate. Nice. Now, same again. Don't overwork it. Bring it together. And then literally into the press. And then just push and squeeze. Now, this is where we're going to start to fill them. Get your mozzarella, 3 nice slices, and literally just fold it into a nice little ball. Pack that nice and tight. Get your thumb, stick that in there. We want a nice, ooey, cheesy, beautiful, stuffed burger. Now, from there, open, up, and then literally just, there you go. Now, just seal that. When I said burger, I mean a proper burger. This is what I call a double stack burger. It's actually good enough for two. Gently press that down. Doesn't matter, little bits of cheese hanging out like that, doesn't matter. They're all friends. We're in this together, okay? Once you've manipulated the ends, it's like making a giant ravioli of deliciousness. That's why it's important not to overwork that meat. That is one hell of a juicy Lucy. Right. Sauce coming down nicely, light little season again. If you can get that done literally the night before, set that in the fridge before we start cooking it. Sauce nicely done. Take that off and just let that cool down. Burger time. Nice hot pan. Burger goes in. Mop up all that seasoning. Don't forget, that will reduce in size by 10%. And then in. Beautiful. And just lightly press that. Now, the secret when you're cooking a burger that you stuffed, do not turn it too often, okay? Lightly press that down. Let the pan do the work. And every time you turn a burger, it's gonna break, okay? As that starts to caramelize, we'll put a couple of knobs of butter in there. The oil stops the butter from burning, okay? And we just let that cook nice and gently. Next, we've got a really nice, fragrant, almost like an Asian slaw. Got some beautiful, finely sliced carrots. In we go. Cabbage, shredded nicely. Mix that up. 1/3 cabbage, 1/3 carrot. Kimchi, all I've done is sort of taken it out of its juice, squeezed it lightly, and then just sort of semi-dried it so it doesn't become too wet. And then from there, I've got my scallions. And literally, I like the sort of freshness to the tops. Again, really good. Gives a touch of acidity, but most importantly, a nice texture to the slaw. Beautiful. In. Lightly season. Salt, pepper. A little teaspoon of sesame seeds, just for crunch and texture. And then from there, I'm gonna take my reduction of my sauce. I've got my mayonnaise. I'm gonna add 3 nice tablespoons of my dressing. Now, I don't like this too hot. I don't want it too runny. I want to dress the slaw, but I don't want to drown the slaw, okay? So, sauce in, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then give that a really nice mix. Now, in order to protect the crunch, it's really important that I don't overdress it. So I like to start off somewhat conservative, okay? So it's not too cloying with mayonnaise. It's a really nice, sort of fresh, crisp slaw. And I want to identify what's on the bun. Sometimes we put too much mayonnaise in there, any kind of dressing, it sort of loses the purpose. And this, look, got a really nice, just enough to bind it together. Check the seasoning. Delicious. Right, let's turn this bad boy over. Oh my goodness me. That's beautiful. Now, we want these burgers medium rare, okay? So that literally 3 minutes each side. I've only turned it once out and just let it sit there and rest. Really important to let your burger rest. And then get your butter, caramelize. Now, don't wash that pan out, okay? Little touch of fresh butter in there. Get it frothing. And then from there, get your bun. Lightly season that bun, okay? We forget the importance of seasoning bread. And then mop up all those beautiful flavors in. Almost go round the pan and mop up that incredible flavor. Juicy Lucy's getting juicier. That's my base. And that is my top. Now, take your slaw and just literally spread that across the base of the bun. Don't worry about little bits hanging off the side. That's all part of the Juicy Lucy. From there, just a little touch of the sauce in the center. Lift your burger up. In. Oh my goodness me. Lucy's coming home. Slaw on top. No fancy garnish. If you made this incredible slaw, then take full advantage. Look at that beauty. And then just another touch of sauce on top. And then the closure. Let your bun sit on top. Now, I know I've got a big mouth. I could devour that thing in a heartbeat, but I'd like to share that with the family. So I'm gonna cut the beautiful Juicy Lucy in half. Ready? Here we go. This is why it's called a Juicy Lucy. Lightly press down on the bun, squash it nicely, let the knife do the work. Oh. Now, I may not be able to get my cheese melting in my grilled cheese, but I can definitely melt cheese in a Juicy Lucy burger. Look at that bad boy. And there we have it. A delicious Juicy Lucy American style burger with a South Korean influence. How good is that? Thank you so much for watching Next Level Kitchen, and please do not forget to subscribe for more exciting videos and visit the description below to get the full recipe.